Midnight, the expansion to make you love WoW again. Is it? Will it be? Every expansion is titled as the WoW is back expansion. Now, Midnight, I will say, the cinematic is a return to flavor. There was some war, there was some death, there was some crazy, big battle scenes going on. It was epic, right? It did feel like a return to form in that sense, in that we're not getting another hold my hand, let's be best friends expansion, okay? This was intense. Now, does that mean WoW is back? Let's see what Taliesin and Evitel have to say about why this expansion is going to make you love WoW again.
Hello, Internet. I'm Taliesin.
And I'm Evitel.
And this is Midnight.
It's here?
It's kind of midnight as we're recording this as well, actually. Oh, I wish it was early as midnight. So we have now seen the cinematic trailer.
Very
and
cool
we've seen
cinematic.
the gameplay trailer here at Gamescom. And we know what Midnight looks like. We know what it's going to be like. And Evitel, we're going to go through...
I need answers for that. How did it happen? Who are those people that... look, I have a theory, okay? I have a big-time theory, and I will interrupt this video just for a second to tell you. That cinematic, okay? The point where these guys come out from the light, okay? Oh, big light reveal moment. I screenshotted this because we were all saying the same. Who are these guys? I think they could be the Arathi from the other side of Azeroth, right? The ones from the Light Emperor. I think they were sent over, somehow got ported through the light, right? Over to this whole battle. And what it is basically, these are the Hallowfall people. But the Hallowfall people were like an expedition, right? They were just an expedition force sent out. These guys could be the Light Emperor's most elite forces. And we all know they're a bunch of light zealots. They love the light over there. So this big Arathi Empire with this army literally built off the light, finally, she reaches out through the light. They somehow hear it, and they port themselves over. Whether it was through the Sunwell or not, I have no idea. But if you looked at the outline of these guys, they don't look like elves. They look like humans, or some variation of humans. We know there's some half-elves over there. But to me, that's where these guys came from. They're like a SEAL Team 6. Yeah, to me, this would be like the Light Emperor's elite fighting force of the light. Could be that. Could be. That's just my theory. There's no confirmation of that yet, but that was just me thinking about the cinematic post-fact. Anyways, we'll get back to this here.
Our initial reactions and overall reactions and like things you're most excited about.
Maybe humans.
Everything we know about the expansion at this stage. But overall, what would you say your reaction to all of this has been?
It's like all of my dreams have come true. Like instantaneously.
I feel like we've got similar dreams.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah, exactly. We're going to go into details in there, but yeah, I agree. From the cinematic onwards, I was just like, oh, Blizzard want the same stuff from this expansion that I do.
Yeah.
We are on the same page.
Very cool.
This is from the very start of the cinematic.
Lorthamar, very well done in the cinematic. I said it before this thing even happened. I was like, if they show Lorthamar, he's got to be a badass, because he is a badass. He is one of the coolest Horde leaders left. He is one of the most experienced Horde leaders left. He's led his people through all kinds of trials and tribulations. He's a badass, and I hope he's portrayed that way, because I was worried he was on his knees in that one picture we saw before, and I was like, oh shit, they're about to kill this guy. No, they didn't yet.
Let us lay waste to
Cam,
this
thank you for the
realm.
follow. Welcome to our Scourge. They didn't yet. Hopefully he doesn't die, but he was very badass in the cinematic.
To the very end of the gameplay trailer, I was like, yes, all right, okay, phew, I feel safe now. I feel like we haven't me and Blizz haven't veered off on completely different directions here. We both want essentially the same thing.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Although, I wasn't sure right off the bat, because it was I see someone's gleaming leg armor, and then you're trying to situate yourself as it's happening, right? And I'm like, is this what I want? Is this what I really want?
You didn't get it was the Sunwell straight away?
I did get it was the Sunwell, but then I was like, do I want the Sunwell, or do I want a bard prancing in?
Well, did you come into Midnight the one thing I don't want from Midnight is the Sunwell? Oh god, all I hope is that
the initial scenes were really cool, but I'll tell you the moment where I was
Sunwell.
like, oh shit,
Let's
this is
start
different.
with the cinematic, the first thing that we saw
right here, when they cut to this scene behind Lorthamar's shoulders, where you just see the battle in front of you, I was like, okay, we're back. We're not hugging Dragoncock anymore. This is full on war again. This is full on the world is about to end and we're sending out battalions to war and people are dying. This is war in Warcraft again. So I was really excited when I saw this.
It places us directly in the Sunwell with Liadrin and Lorthamar.
Liadrin looks great, by the way.
It is the day of the Void.
By the way, also something about Liadrin, really badass female character. badass female character long before this cinematic ever came out. She's had tons of badassery moments in the game. And guess what Blizzard didn't have to do? They didn't have to kill Lorthamar to make her badass. That's always been my complaint about the whole killing off of male leads, is I feel like they just haven't been able to write good female leads, so they got to keep killing off the male ones to make the female ones good, and that just is bad writing. I don't mind cool female leads. Give me cool female characters. That's fine. But they can be hand in hand with the males. You don't have to freaking kill off the guys to make them cool. Lady Liadrin, badass. And she did badass shit in the cinematic. She had really cool moments, and so did Lorthamar, hand in hand. Two really cool characters.
On the Sunwell. There was a couple of things that struck me about this, like, instantly.
Yeah.
And that was, like, how old school it looked.
Yes.
It did look old school.
If you compare it to the War Within trailer, bright desert sunlight, right? If you told me this trailer was from 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I believe you. Like, it looks amazing.
It does.
It's supposed to look like it's from 10 years ago,
And
right?
I count that as a good thing. There's something, and I noticed that as well. And it still has that like beautiful high-res quality. Everything looks
when you see Liadrin, like when she goes to the Sunwell the second time, like the pores on her
she's
nose.
got-
like
looks
there's
great,
no
yeah.
dirt on her.
There's no shortage of like genuine
100%. This felt like a little bit less stylized. I don't know what it was about it, but he's right. It did feel old school. I was getting like Diablo vibes from it for some reason. I still can't. Maybe because the way she was praying in the beginning, it sounded like some of the prayers that you hear in Diablo. Praying to, for the demons not to come get him. I don't know what it was, but it was very dark. Yeah, less saturated color and just more real. This whole cinematic felt more real.
artistry here.
Yeah.
And that artistry extends to that.
Are all Blood Elves paladins?
Yes,
Not
yeah,
all.
and it-
No, they're not all. They worship the sun well, but not all Blood Elves have taken on the light, what's it called, to become paladins. No. Blood Elf paladins have always existed since Blood Elves came out. And they all elves worship the sun well, even the Void Elves, not Night Elves, but they all worship the sun well, these proper elves. And there's some of them decide to become paladins.
Vintage.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like rather than trying to feel like a Marvel film or something, right? This is just literally trying to feel like World of
Codiciana Killings.
Warcraft. It like really takes you back to some of those older like game cinematics, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And it helps
totally.
that they're blood elves.
It's kind of like the polar opposite of the War Within cinematic, really, in that it does what all the best WoW cinematics do. At times, it's literally referencing the BFA
Yeah,
trailer,
of
which I
course
really,
it is,
really
yeah.
love.
It did.
So it has that thing of like, it starts off in the middle of an attack, in the middle of like a thing, just like the Legion trailer. It places you right in the action straight away. After the War Within trailer being so low key and so conversational,
Yeah,
it's
this
like,
is really cool.
There's a hole in the sky. Oh, the Void are here.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
we better do some
it's
fighting.
time, right?
Yeah,
He's
totally.
like, let's go.
I think we really needed that for Midnight as
Yeah.
well. Like we couldn't have another conversation. We know how the story got here, but it works completely on its own. Like if we'd never seen Xalatath before, if we didn't know anything about the Void or whatever, this would still
this
work. as a
standalone
trailer.
works.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
does.
it like unlike say the War Within one.
And we have Lorthamar kind of like on the front line versus Liadrin kind of choosing to pray at the Sunwell.
Oh, he's like, yo, stop praying, dude. We gotta
He's
fight,
like,
man.
The way she has the hesitation and then she just leaves him, I was like, oh shit, she just abandoned his ass to go pray. What the hell? I mean, I guess it was a good move in the end because it looks like she got the Arathi, Light Empire's help or something. But yeah, when she left, I was like, oh shit, she just abandoned him.
And then when Xalatath
She's
arrives,
afraid.
Oh my
which
god.
is just stunning, right?
Unbelievable.
This scene
You get
was
some
so
really
cool.
like fighting with the elves.
Yeah,
at
the
first.
fighting
And
is badass.
The movement is so suggestive of those old BC trailers and the
Absolutely.
original WoW trailer.
Also, their movement is very elfish. I love like the kind of, like elves when they're fighting and a lot of high fantasy, including Lord of the Rings, it looks like they're dancing almost. It's very fluid. There's like no jerk stop motions like we would typically see in a human style of fight. The style of fighting, yeah, elegant movements, exactly. It was perfectly choreographed. I loved watching this. This was proper elf lore. The best elf lore we've ever seen in a cinematic, for sure. In WoW, at least.
As well.
100%. And like the quality of the
swift
light
and
and
smooth,
everything,
yeah.
their armor.
So
yeah.
there's fighting.
was
That's
awesome.
excellent. And when the full lore just gives way and Xalatath flows
Yeah.
upwards out of it in glorious.
Okay, I want to say something about this. Remember we were complaining about her Giga Chad chin and the one little clip we had? I think it's distorted because she's coming out. And like now I see it. Everyone was like, oh my God, Blizzard uglified Xalatath. She's not hot anymore. They gave her a super Giga Chad chin. I think it's actually the fact that she was coming up in the scene, so it's a bit kind of like she's elongated a little bit, because later on in the cinematic you see like she's still hot. There's no doubt about it. Her face looks fine.
8K.
Oh my
you know,
God.
she looks so good.
She looks so amazing.
Yeah, see, like now that she's not rising up anymore, now she looks great. Yeah.
Oh my God, how many people did they have working on her?
The way she stands there when she first appears,
She still looks hot.
with her void wraiths behind her,
Yeah.
and the sun setting behind
Yes.
her, and like just the last embers of the actual day as the night prepares to take over, sort of thing.
Exactly. And
Oh
her-
yeah, that's a very cool little touch there. Yeah, he's right. The dawn is kind of the night is falling right on the sun here.
hair just kind of like floating
It's almost midnight, maybe.
spookily about her. And she's like beautiful and menacing and like.
And then Liadrin
absolutely
nooks out.
perfect. Light be with you.
Yeah, totally. And Lorthamar's like, "Oh, bitch, going to pray again." And the way he just goes, "Don't."
It's like, please.
Like he knows that she just goes and prays all the time. He's right. Yeah, take my money. I know, right? Yeah, her eyes look amazing. Also, the moving celestial shit in her headband here she's looked great.
Like, this dude has had enough with religion. He's
Yeah,
like, we
yeah.
gotta fight.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And obviously, it like really kicks off when she gets back to the Sunwell and starts praying, and you know,
Yeah.
like sets aside her mantras and her kind of like written, established prayers,
Yeah.
and it comes from the heart and
Yes.
like makes a genuine kind of appeal to the light and to the Sunwell.
Yeah.
And you know, there are loads of stills here which look like the old key art from BFA.
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
things I've taken from this opening trailer.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it gives the Blood Elves the love that they deserve.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
have never had really in a cinematic like this.
I agree completely.
And it's like, I'm not like the greatest Blood Elf fan in the world, but it's amazing how refreshing it is to see someone other than like humans and orcs getting this kind of attention. And like,
100%.
you're like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I
this
agree.
is a fantasy world with loads of different races in. And it's like,
I mean, after humans and orcs, I feel like the elves are the next biggest race. The high elves specifically have so much storyline going all the way back to the origination of original stories in WoW, and to see them, like they're saying, yeah, in the cinematic, the way they were shown, it was very well done. I loved it.
so exciting to see the
And I
Blood
play a
Elves
human in WoW, I'm
being
Alliance.
badass, and
I
they're
loved it.
so badass in this.
Yeah.
This scene right here, where he spits and says, "You can't even take one elf," it was freaking badass.
They're absolutely incredible, and like their armor is so beautiful and like gleaming, and yeah, even just that
Badass.
they have elf ears and
Yeah.
like
And they're kind of floppy and
and they're
goofy
kind of
looking.
floppy, yeah. Like Lorthamars have definitely seen better days, and he's been around for a while, and he's like, he's melting a bit. He's an old guy. I do love how old Lorthamar is.
Oh yeah, well, I mean
love
he's
that-
tens of thousands
Yeah,
of years
he's
old,
he's,
man.
he's
Yeah,
so
totally.
old.
But he's still got it, mate.
Yeah, he's still
all right.
absolutely got it.
So I love how old school, like the vibe and the look of it is, despite being like obviously incredibly well made and high quality.
Yes, yeah.
They should make an animated movie. I mean, an animated Netflix series, even like that. If they ever did a series it would be insane. So many cool things could come out of it. And then this hand, when this hand touched her, I thought it could be Anduin. I thought it could be Eretor. Right, Eretor is the son of Illyria. So I thought it could be him because he's a paladin and stuff like that. But it wasn't either of them. It was this light army. Where are they coming from?
Like it's got a really lovely climax as well, where Liadrin's prayers are literally answered, and then when she comes stomping up with the
By the way, I love this because we have never really seen Zalateth like in the light. Like she's always in the shade. She's always in this purple hue. And then when this
answered,
happens,
and then when she comes
boom. And we see her like full res in the light. And the way she looks up at it, like, whoa, shit, who the hell's that? This was really cool.
stomping up with the Army of Light.
Someone,
Silver
us?
Hand.
Is it us?
I actually genuinely thought at first it was the Army of Light.
Yeah, okay.
Like arriving,
Yeah.
and most of those
Could be the silver hand, the little hint there. A silver hand literally lays on her shoulder, right, when she's praying. So it could be them.
be Draenei, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay, cool,
Yeah,
that
okay.
makes sense. And then they seem kind of human-y, so I thought maybe it's a
They
silver
look like
hand. And I was like,
humans.
what, is it the Nightfallen? Is it like the
the Arathi?
Night's Radiance?
Yeah.
That's who I
Things
think it
Radiance.
is.
And, I'm sure everyone's got to the bottom of it already on the
Yeah.
internet. We haven't yet. Maybe it's a mysterious thing we're not supposed to know. Maybe we'll get to
Who
the bottom
knows?
of it in an interview or something. I love your idea that it's us.
Yeah. Well, I love.
It's like, I've called the heroes of Azeroth and they've
exactly.
arrived.
She's like, please help me.
The armor types, by the way, freaking badass. Look at this guy and his freaking look at the helm here. This guy looks like he's in like a judgment set of some sort. This army. I don't play paladin. I play Death Knight, which is almost anti-paladin. But the look of this army was, I gotta give it to them. These were some badass looking paladins.
Exactly. She's like, please help me, you know, and like the hand
Midnight
goes
set,
on her
maybe.
shoulder, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, whose is that? Who's it? Is it? It's mine.
Yeah, it's me.
mine.
I've
It's like
come to help.
I'm here. I've been called by like the world soul and
Yeah.
the light to like, and I've come to
Look at the lit up hammers and everything. This was freaking cool. This mob right here, this void mob, literally turns to ash. Watch.
help, and I do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it is.
No,
but
I don't think it is.
In my
Really
head
cool.
canon, that is us answering the call.
Yes.
And I
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. These sets we don't have a set that looks like this in the game. Hold on, I'm blocking him a little bit. Hold on, let me move my camera real quick. Look at this. This guy right here. He looks so badass. This guy looks so badass. It's like a silvered out judgment set, fully armored. I mean, all these guys look really, really cool. I have to admit it. They do. They look freaking amazing.
really, really like
Yes.
that. I think that's awesome. But the
Arthas
kind of
and
like the difference in music when they come clonking up.
Oh my god, the
yeah.
that world
Kind of
soul
the
like
music-
song that they play is
exactly.
so
It was
amazing.
beautiful.
And then it's basically like a complete recreation of the BFA trailer
Uh-huh.
at the end there. Even the moment where Xalatath, you know, she realizes that there's a bit more here than she thought, sort
Yes,
of thing.
yeah.
And her little smile because of that kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, welcoming the challenge sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's exactly like Sylvanas'
Harris's.
smile when Anduin kind of goes for the alliance.
100%, 100%.
So cool. Except she does know
Yeah, the Arathis, I think, Narian, as I said earlier, and I agree with you, I think it's the Arathis. I think it is. Someone even mentioned, the Sunwell has been a portal before. It's been used as a portal before. So Kill Jaden came through it. It's happened. So no surprise that maybe the Arathi have the power to listen through the light and come through the portal. Totally possible.
Wow, have you noticed?
Yeah, she does. She disappears,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
she smiles and she's like, bye.
And I
I did
love, you know,
notice
and I
that,
love in
yeah.
the lead up to this, like, you know, you have the scenes of like the void, darkness, you know, Lorthamar duking it out against insanely beautiful Xalatath and her little
She's
void
so
guys.
hot as well.
Yeah, we could go on about this, but
She's so hot when the light shines
well,
on her
that's
as
what
well.
I was gonna say.
Like,
There's
that's
this-
the face that launched 1 billion thumbnails.
yeah.
Like that.
So and then of course you cut to the scene
Yeah, I'm just going to say, yeah.
with Liadrin and, you know, in this yellow glow of the light, like the warm glow of the light, and then finally
Some of the armor does look like the Arathi sets. I agree with you. The Arathi sets that we've gotten so far in the game in Halifal. Definitely.
like the light kind of spills out, and it just like washes over Xalatath. It removes like the purple
Yeah.
pallor from her, and she got, you know, she gets a taste of it, right? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like she sees what it's all about.
And that's the other thing I take from this cinematic is
Mm-hmm.
like how much it kind of appears to set up. I don't know if they'll follow through on this one, but
Mm-hmm.
how much it appears to set up Midnight as very much the light versus void expansion.
Yeah, oh,
Remember
definitely.
we've always kind of talked about that. You know, there's kind of set expansions that you've been waiting for in WoW. One of them was like the Nazoth Ashara expansion. We kind of got that. Like one of them is the South Seas expansion, and you know, one of those categories has always been the light versus void expansion. And
Yeah.
this trailer, and we always knew what the setup for Midnight was, but this trailer sets up like the explicit light versus void
Like
thing.
very purple versus yellow, right?
does.
Like
exactly.
it's
and so that makes,
easy to comprehend.
I feel like
right?
the light is
And
being-
clearly, like, we as the people of Azeroth are going to lean into the light in this expansion. That's what it looks like. We're going to obviously lean into everything the light has to offer to try to fend off the void. And then maybe the light takes a turn. Like, if these are the Arathi, maybe we realize, like, they're not really good guys. Like, these guys are kind of intense, and they don't like other races, maybe. They're anti everything except the light, and they become a bit extreme. And we see the Yrel side of the light, where like super extreme versions of light worship exists. So that could be the take, and then we end up the last Titan where we're like, okay, we got to figure this out because we can't just be light zealots, all of us. So yeah, but right now, leaning into the light, it does kind of feel like perfect old school Warcraft. It does.
kind of focused a lot more than maybe people would have been expecting just from this.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah. But,
as a genuine force sort of thing.
yeah, but
in
I
this
think
expansion.
like I say, like there's something kind of nice and simple about the concept. It's like
I
it's,
agree.
It's,
Simple
it's
old
the, yeah,
WoW
the
concept.
good stuff versus the darkness, which
Yeah.
threatens to eat everything
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. And unlike in BFA, there's not much ambiguity between the sides here. It's like
No.
you don't want these guys to
No.
win. I promise. I'm not ashamed to admit that I had a little lump. I had a little
Oh, tears!
in my
Tears!
in my throat when like you know the
The
final
radiant
kind of
song
attack.
comes.
Man, it's really cool. Like, just I keep looking at different shots of the army. I could say they're all humans. They all look human. The build of them, the outline of their body. These are not elves. These are, I would say, these are most certainly humans, all of them. And we know that of the Arathi Empire, they are all humans. That's just how they roll. There were elves that came with the expedition, so there are elves over there, but I would say the majority of them still have the human build, even the half-elf people.
My throat when like you know the
Radiant
final kind of
song
attack.
comes up.
The
Yeah,
Radiant song is such a banger track as well, isn't it?
It's so good. The music changes. You see the people coming, and they have that wonderful little Leadrin comes out and starts decimating little void guys, and then Lorthamar
it's
he
100%
does a little
human force,
little
I
smirk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I say, there's a lot to get into with the cinematic analysis here, but of course the line at the beginning, after she's been bollocked by Lorthamar and they're standing on the battlements together, she says, "The Sunwell will not fall while I draw breath." And then
I keep looking at this image too because Lady Liadra, again, perfect example of a badass female character. She is badass, still hot, by the way. She's freaking hot, but just overall a badass, good female lead. She's a well-written character, at least from what we've seen so far.
of course, Lorthamar's final line at the end is, "The Sunwell will
Her
not
new
fall
model
while
gives
we draw."
Shadowheart vibes.
So like it's very much like they were kind of fractured at the beginning. She was very religious. He was very kind of, no, put that down. We've got to go fight. And then like that,
Together.
the unification of the scattered elf tribes, just like Metzen said, right? And
yes,
it's like
actually.
you see like a coming together just between those two characters, signified by that line.
Right, yeah, Arathi would make a lot of sense with all the elf and half-elves. They'd most likely help the Blood Elves. I agree. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Plus, she's a worshiper of the light. I mean, they see this as a final battle. The Arathi did not help us with the invasion of the Legion, right, of the Burning Legion. But we do know that it is in fact in the lore that the Burning Legion and past Titan people have tried to invade that side of the world and failed. They were pushed back. Now, that wasn't a global, I mean, I guess it was a global threat, but the Arathi, I guess, didn't see it as enough of a threat to join us on our side. They were fighting on their side. But now, the Void is coming to devour the light. And clearly, this is the focal point. The Sunwell is a focal point for Xal'atath. So I could totally see that this is the moment. This is finally the thing that pulls the Arathi over from the other side of the world to come to our side. Because at the end of the day, their biggest thing is we got to defend the light. And this is the final battle between the light and the void.
What have you. And yeah, there's going to be a rumble.
Yeah.
And apparently this is where the expansion starts as well.
Okay.
Like this is a depiction of the beginning of the expansion.
This is how it feels,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be chucked, and that's another reason why I quite like your idea of it's us that have arrived,
Yeah, here we
is
are.
because we are going to be chucked into this battle at the beginning of the expansion. And speaking of which, of course, we've also seen the gameplay trailer now as well.
Yes.
And this is amazing because this is where we get our first shots of like the new in-game.
Oh, sweet dreams. They're great for sure.
Which is
Fully revamped.
and Eversong words and also the other zones that will
There's
be.
Lady Liedra's new in-game model. She looks good. What were you saying? Yeah, she looks cool. Why is their audio buzzy? They're filming from Germany, so they might not have all their good equipment.
So the other zones that will be featuring in this expansion,
Oh my
which
God.
We do get some surprises, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to the Haranir zone.
Okay.
Haranar, we're actually gonna do a whole different reaction to that
Yes,
because
we
I think it's
are.
really funny.
That's
But I heard that they dropped that storyline. What they must have done was they must have seen all those videos about people about Blizz dropping that storyline like a week ago, and they must have gone, quick, put them in midnight. The YouTubers are upset. Quickly, we've got to rewrite. Put the Haranir in there.
Listen, playable Haranir,
I
which
just
people
wanna say,
have been
like,
gunning for.
I personally think that this was supposed to be at midnight. I've said this. This was the Rootlands patch that got upended or derooted from the root because Metzen wanted to put in the Ethereals and play that storyline, and I think that was the right move. I don't think this was the right move necessarily, shoehorning them into this expansion, but whatever, we're getting them. They're going to be playable, and we're getting probably all their assets that they had created for the War Within now put into midnight, so fine.
for so long.
And they look awesome, the Haranir.
I wanted Amani Trolls or Ethereals.
as
They
well, I
look
have to say. The players.
Whatever.
so good. The taste that we've had of them.
Yeah, Zulaman.
Amazing. Some troll action.
as a
We were
zone,
saying before,
which,
like people are dying for some trolls. Right?
Should have been like really easy to predict, but like it looks like they're going
No, I
in really
don't trust
hard
cards.
with
Yes.
the trolls as part of like the leveling campaign and what have you.
Yeah.
And
As
of
they
course,
should.
Eversong Woods and a completely rebuilt Silvermoon, which we've been
Awesome.
told. Is like going to be the most complex design.
It looks like Suramar. It looks like they rebuilt Silvermoon in the image of Suramar in terms of the complexity of the city, all the back alleys, all the stuff. They're probably going to have NPCs everywhere, just like Suramar. They took their notes from Suramar, which was, I said it, and I've said it a lot of times, one of the most well-done cities Blizzard's ever put into the game. They took those notes and they were like, all right, let's do it, but with Blood Elf architecture. And this looks freaking amazing. I cannot wait to go here.
City in the entire game.
Yes.
Like,
and
so,
it is like a top to bottom
Yeah.
rework. And then taking
Looks
bits
great.
of it and like growing them, turning it into like a living hub.
Yeah.
It looks
it is
Playable
going to be
Tusk.
cross-faction. There's going to be bits that only the...
I've predicted playable Tuskar, but I'm not a person who says we got to have playable Tuskar. That's this guy. Taliesin can't wait for playable Tuskar.
Horde can use, though, because it is like a Horde city, and this is stuff that we've heard
Yeah.
about, so I don't know if like it's been said, but it's the case.
No, I'm not
And the
race based.
Void
I gotta play
Zone
as a
as well.
human.
The Void Storm,
Yeah.
which is like basically Xalatath's gaff, right? This is her stronghold.
It's where she'd set up camp.
Where the Dominar, who are her Void forces, that's where
Oh my
they're
god,
like hanging
her little
out.
void guys, the scenes where she's
Little,
like,
are you kidding? Have you
like-
seen the shot in the gameplay trailer?
Yes.
This like Voldemort-looking mofo,
Yeah.
like with no nose, just kind of all like, yeah. But
She's
this,
got her
this
whole
does
group of
raise a
guys.
question, right?
Yeah.
If one of the zones is literally her gaff,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the idea is this is like the max level zone, kind of like
it
the
is.
more but not sort of thing.
Yeah.
Does that mean that we're going to Gul'dan Xalatath, and she's like the first boss or whatever?
I don't know.
I know. I think there's a conversation to be had there.
I think
I
we
doubt
will
it.
be confronting her at
Yeah,
some
I think
point.
so, because I mean, there's a lot of shots of like the Void moving in on the Isle of Keldanas in here. The raid setup is incredibly interesting in the way they're approaching that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a whole conversation to be had about that, and there's a whole conversation to be had also about the Void Demon Hunter, the Devourer spec.
We were such
Yeah.
doubters.
It was all true.
Here's the thing about this, and this
I'm shocked by it. I thought it wasn't going to happen after the Blizzard interview, but they clearly pulled a fast one on us, and they were definitely planning to put this third Demon Hunter spec in the game.
kind of ties into like my feeling about Midnight so far in general, and that like it's not subverting my expectations. It's not like throwing me for a loop, and
It's true. Haranir, like it's
I'm not going to lie. The Harnier did throw me for a loop. I just thought we're not going to do that anymore, and we're going to get something cooler like Ethereals or like Amani Trolls. So that was like my one disappointment so far. Was like, really? Come on, really? Like we're gonna do Hardy right now? We just saved the ethereal world. We just saved Koresh. They're not gonna join us right now to fight Xalatath. Like they're thanks for saving our world. We'll see you later, man. You go deal with that shit on your side of the world. Come on, I mean, it just made more sense to bring ethereals into the play right now, and we could always shoehorn Harnier in somehow, some other way. I just feel like now we're kind of bypassing our real chance to bring ethereals in. And okay, you can do it later, but it's just, I don't know. You got to write some more lore now to make that happen. Whereas right now, we're at a point in the lore where they could just join us. It makes sense. And then Amani Trolls obviously could be one in the expansion, right? We're going to deal with them a lot. I hope we do get playable Amani Trolls. They have new models and everything, so maybe. We'll see.
surprising when they
That
came.
was my
it's not surprising that
disappointment
they
with the
did
whole thing.
come.
Exactly.
Like the Void spec is something we talked about a lot.
Exactly. So like the void spec, it's been planted, it's been kind of discussed, it's been
Harnier are cool. Why are you disappointed? They're not as cool as Ethereals or Amani Trolls. To me, it's just an opinion thing. I kind of wanted, though, there's more lore behind them. They've been wanted for a long time. They've been deep rooted in World of Warcraft for a long time. And what's it called? Amani Trolls go even further back than that. They go back to old Warcraft days. But Harnier, they're new. Okay, whatever. We're gonna get them. That's fine, I guess.
theorized, and it's like right there in the game
They're
that it
just
could
not the other two
potentially
races that I
happen,
wanted.
and then it happens. And I think I was just like pleasantly surprised. We're not having our legs pulled or whatever. Here's a clue. It's very obvious. Now this is happening. Also, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Also, it's like mid-range, which means I'm probably going to play
mid-range,
it.
yeah,
Which is
the new
Oh,
Demon
really?
Hunter.
Yeah.
Like you play your
Yeah.
Jack Theer all the time?
Yes, all the time.
Because you just love mid-range specs, man.
I do.
You love that stuff.
But I love the idea that they're suffused with void. They might kind of succumb to like Xalatath's will. But
Yeah,
that's
we're waiting
okay,
today.
right?
I bet there's some
Like,
fun stories to be
right?
had there as well.
Yeah.
And of course, Void Elf Demon Hunters, which we did all expect.
Yes,
They
yeah.
look goofy. I love it. They look so fruity as Demon Hunters, don't they? And I'm so here for it. It's
Yeah.
like, Demon Hunters traditionally have served Fel, but these guys serve absolute. And I'm like totally here for it.
Yes.
Like as always. So I think like the variety and the amount of zones that's here at launch is kind of a pleasant surprise. It's not all
That's
based
good.
around Eversong Woods and the Ghostlands.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
The Ghostlands is basically just Eversong Woods now. Basically, it's all healed and there's like void pockets and stuff like that. But
it's better now.
There's no Forsaken, there's no Scourge in there anymore or anything like that. But I gotta say, Zul'Aman looks like it's had.
I will say though, from this image, this might be where the dead scar was, because there's no tree. Like this whole pathway here might be where the dead scar was, and this is like the healed version of it now. We haven't like gotten like a Blizzard coming out saying this is where the dead scar used to be. Look at it now. But we've gotten these images, and this could be it.
It's better now.
There's no Forsaken, there's no Scourge in there anymore or
Yeah.
anything like that. But I gotta say, Zul'Aman looks like it's had better days. Of course, there are dungeons and new delves and everything kind of based around these as well.
Yeah.
What about the prey system?
I still don't really know what this is all about,
And
but
you
it
know-
seems pretty okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
fine.
islands, it's like delves, it's like Torghast. It's that thing where we're not going to know what it really is until we're trying it
doing
out
it.
on the
Yeah.
alpha.
That's
yeah,
true,
exactly.
Boo.
And so it will always remain the thing that might be shit about the expansion.
Well, Ethereals would be the first non-Azeroth native playable race. Well, technically orcs were. The orcs are not from Azeroth. And then if you want to say, well, no, okay, they were by the time we were able to play. But then you got the Magar orcs, too. Magar orcs literally never set up in Azeroth. They just came through the portal later on through Draenor. So they're technically from another world. But, I mean, I guess they would be the second. If you're not going to count orcs, they'd be the first, sure.
But that delves was the thing that might be shit about War Within.
And Draenei. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, Draenei. They literally came in a spaceship. Yeah, of course.
And
delves
dragon
are-
riding was the thing that might be shit about Dragonflight, and both those things turned out
Huge
absolutely
success.
amazing.
Yeah,
so
huge success.
I like a little shot of it in the trailer. Like there you are, you're
Yeah.
kind of fighting a baddie,
Yeah.
and then you turn around, and there's this big beefy forest troll guy behind you. It's like, oh, it's been compared to the Nemesis system from the Lord of the Rings games, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, it's that dude. Oh no.
You found me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently the difficulty is going to scale quite high on that as well if people want it to. So
Pretty cool.
Again, a kind of focus on improving the gameplay day-to-day experience of kind of solo players really,
Yeah.
and giving them more of a three-dimensional experience.
Yeah.
And I like the idea, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's pointless to get too excited about it because we just don't know what it is or how it
Exactly.
works. Really.
Meanwhile, what I am still really excited about is player housing, which is easy to forget that it's coming in a way because we know that it's coming. But I love how they've used it.
Yeah.
Like again in all of this messaging, the whole vibe. Literally, we have homes now on Azeroth, and
This was cool.
Xalatath is here to like
out the
potentially
lights.
extinguish our lights. I know you like the sound of that. I know you want Xalatath to extinguish your light.
Well, there's
but
that moment in the intro trailer, in the cinematic trailer as
Yeah.
well, where like Xalatath is bearing down on Lorthamar,
Yeah, and she
then
just-
the light comes to his rescue.
Yeah.
And I'd have been
I
like,
said it when we saw this in the expansion. I actually think this is like the pre-patch event. Like this is a prelude. This is like a preview of what the pre-patch event's going to look like. You're going to have big void portals opening up, void invasions, right? I mean, Legion invasions, void invasions. It's a typical pre-patch stuff. I think this is what this is.
Oh no, please wait. Just give me a moment. Just wait. Just hold that.
Give me a
hold that.
second. Let me just
And all
try
this gear could be part of the pre-patch event. Like cool gear in a pre-patch event is a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I know. She's like, she's literally like looking down her nose
and
at
I'm
you,
like,
and you're
oh,
like,
thank God. The housing stuff fits quite seamlessly into the general vibe of all
Yes,
this. I
yeah.
love the intro of the gameplay trailer where it starts off in someone's home and it's got the Xalatath
They're like
voice
children
over,
running outside.
and then all the lights just go out. And
Yes.
and like at the end of the gameplay trailer where the people are literally out in the street
Yes,
with their
I
weapons
love that.
and they
I
see the big
love
hole
that.
in the sky and like
Yes.
there's the Draenei with a like
Yeah.
she's just pumping the shotgun sort of thing, like ready to defend their homes, which
Yeah.
I think is awesome.
I love
like,
that.
So cool. And
Yeah,
so
it was cool.
something that I think is interesting is this skybox that we see kind of
Yeah.
all over the place in this
void
gameplay trailer. Yeah.
hailing down.
The
right?
fact that it is over the player housing bits, the fact that it is over other cities and stuff as well,
Mm-hmm.
as well as like Silvermoon. Do we think this is going to be part of like a pre-patch or like the
Yeah,
release
I
where
do.
like this skybox will kind of take over and everything's going to be very voidy for a while?
I think it could be. I think it could be that.
I'd be so in favour
I
of
mean,
that.
it looks like it, right? The way
Yeah.
they've kind of. It could just be for fun effects.
I don't think it'll be a forever void because that would kind of get depressing. I don't think people want to just be in a void skybox for, you know, the rest of the expansion or something. But I think for the pre-patch events, it'll just be like void events, like open sky darkens, void portal opens, here comes an invasion, we got to fight it off.
But it looks like it just being cast over,
Like
you
the
know,
Legion
even player
invasions.
housing, like even
Yeah.
our homes, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I love that. And just the whole, something about it really stirs something in me. Like it feels old school, but it feels new, but it still is like hitting all the right notes
Well,
for me.
it's got it, so far. It's got the thing that we all wanted, which is that Legion vibe of like
does.
Absolutely.
we are defending ourselves against
Yes.
something. Right, something is coming.
Yes.
and we need to defend ourselves against it. Whereas you look at Shadowlands, it's like we need to go to the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Like with the War Within, it's like we need to go to Dornagal and then we'll deal with stuff there. The idea of stuff coming to us
Yeah.
and us being like, oh, we need to
think
do
it's
something
kinda right
about-
there.
Well,
Yeah.
there's no getting away
Yeah.
from this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that you got that sense from the cinematic with Silvermoon, this idea of that it's this shit's going to devour us. That
Yeah, yeah.
we don't have to leave our homes for this. And I love that. I think that's a really important vibe. It seems to have captured like the stirring vibes of BFA that did so well. So far, it's kind of hit everything I needed it to make me think that yes, Blizz get how good this expansion could be. Because I think still I haven't seen anything that makes me think that this couldn't be one of the best WoW expansions ever. I feel like I needed to see this,
Yeah.
I needed to see this, I need to see this, and I've seen it all with it, with this,
Yeah.
Apart from Tinker and Bard.
But I was going to say,
Hey, do you know what we didn't see in any of this?
What?
We haven't seen in the cinematic or the gameplay trailer?
Yeah.
Alaria.
makes
Absolutely
sense.
Yeah, she
nowhere
wasn't
to be
in there.
seen. No Arator, no Alaria, no Turalian. Like, just, so I think that's really clever.
We did see Turellian is in one of the screenshots of Silvermoon. I pointed that out a little while ago. So he was in there, but yeah, they're right. They're not forefront and center of any of the cinematics or anything like that.
Yeah.
Apart from Xalatath, there's no like reference to the past expansion. It's not like
That's
this is a
nice.
story continuing. It's like
Yeah.
this is a thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
I think it is important. It feels like a new chapter.
Yeah.
It's part two.
I know, I love when it
right?
says part two.
of the world.
It's also good for people who didn't play The War Within, right? They're just if it looks like an expansion where you could just pick up at midnight. It does.
World Soul
Love it how
Saga.
it says that.
It's its own part.
Yeah.
We've kind of, those things are still essential and like integral to the story that they're telling. They'll still be there in a way, but like we have moved on to a new chapter. It's
Yeah.
a new feeling. It's a new vibe. It really does it so well.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh my god, I'm so excited
Me
for it.
too. We're going to continue bringing coverage of our stay here. When we're not on stage,
Yes.
we'll be here keeping you updated. We want to talk about the Haranir. We want to talk about the Demon Hunters. We want to talk about...
Do we have to talk about Demon Hunters?
Yeah, we do, mate. I want to put my cinematic analysis out as well. So stay tuned. There'll be lots of videos on this channel, and we're streaming when we can from here as well. So you can catch us there. And on the official WoW streams as well when they're
Yeah.
streaming stuff that we're doing there. Let us know what you think of these reveals in the comments below. Thanks to the patrons for putting food in our mouths. And I hope you're as excited
Schnitzel.
about this as... I was hoping that would be later. I hope you're excited about this as I am. I can't wait for even more news to come out this week and
Same.
for us to get like
Yeah.
some
Into the nitty-gritty.
Because we've heard stuff around that that hasn't kind of been, but which will be announced
Yeah.
properly. We'll talk about it all then and stuff. So super exciting. Until then, from me, Taliesin,
And Mia Patel.
cheerio.
Yeah, nice video. Yeah, overall, it's I agree with them. There wasn't anything revealed to me that was like, oh, this is going to be a shit expansion. Everything I needed to see and wanted to see was there, except playable ethereals, really. We got Haranir instead. That's fine. But overall, yeah, excited for the expansion, and the overall layout of the story so far to me is really good. And the fact that, okay, it's not a hug me, brother, I need your help kind of thing. This is all out war. And I think that's good, kind of go back to that for World of Warcraft. Nice video from Taliesin and Evatel.